12-bar blues in A, the charts explanation. I have finale in its scroll mode, and what that means is that I can put as many number of measures as I want together, and they will go simply from left to right. In the course of that happening, I can only go up to measure 9, and there's 12 measures in this tune. So what will happen is you'll see finale jump like that, and it will catch measures 10 through 12. But first we want to get down to figuring out the chords. The first A7th chord up here, you probably should already know. We did bar chords before, so this one is not unfamiliar. You have your second finger on the 6th fret of the 3rd string. Your third finger, 7th fret, 5th string. The second finger is C sharp, the major 3rd, and the third finger is E, the perfect 5th. Then your first finger bars all the way across the neck. Pick 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it is again. Here it is strummed. Okay, the next chord shape we want to look at is the one next to it, and it's the D dominant 9. This chord is movable. Wherever you land the second finger on the chord, that will name the chord. The second finger, 5th fret of the 5th string is D, thusly it's a D9 chord. In this song, it will be used at the 4th and 5th frets, and also 2 frets higher at the 6th and 7th frets for an E9. But let's make the D9 chord here. Now the 6th string is X'd out. On the D9, you do not want to pick that string. Put your second finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string. That's D, or the tonic or root. It's the name of the chord. Your first finger, 4th fret, 4th string, F sharp. It's the major 3rd of the chord. Then your third finger is going to lay flat at the 5th fret over the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. And you can see my knuckle bending real good there. Now, when you first try this, for most people, if they're not able to do this, it's understandable. It takes a while to get that knuckle to bend. Let's pick it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it is again. Here it is strummed. You don't get to the E9 chord until you get all the way up to the end of this 9th measure here, and there's the E9 chord. It's exactly the same as the D9 chord, it's 2 frets higher. Finger, fret, and string. Your second finger, 7th fret, 5th string, E, is the tonic. Your first finger, 6th fret, 4th string, is G sharp, the major 3rd. And your third finger will lay flat at the 7th fret. Third string is D, the minor 7th. Second string is F sharp, the 9 tone. And then the first string is B, or the perfect 5th. Pick 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here they are again. Here they are strummed. Now, we have seen the chord shapes. I need to talk about the chord exchanges. All we're going to try to do right now is go between the A and the D, a single strum. The A chord bars at the 5th fret, and the D9 chord has the second finger at the 5th fret. So that 5th fret is kind of a target point between the chords. Now, let's make the A7th chord. Let's make the A7th chord, quickly strum it. Now, to change to the D9, lift everybody, plant the second finger on the 5th fret, 5th string, first finger, 4th string, lay the third finger flat. And you see that the second and third fingers are at the 5th fret also. Go back to the A7th chord, lift everybody, and that first finger bars at 5th fret. Okay, when going between the A7 and the E9 chord, something kind of cool happens. On this A7th chord, you see my third finger, 7th fret, 5th string is the E. And that's our target point. Lift everybody up and put your second finger on the 7th fret of that 5th string. First finger, 4th string, 6th fret, and lay the third finger flat at the 7th fret, 1, 2, 3. So that second finger again becomes a target point when we go back to the A, that our third finger takes over that second finger, and we make the A7th bar chord. This particular chord progression is in a lot of different blues tunes. Blues is kind of a common thing. The term we use for this is 1-4-5. If we're in the key of A being the tonic or root, B would be 2, technically C sharp because of the key signature 3, D is 4, and E is 5. 1-4-5, A, D, E. Look at my picture of my fretboard for a second. I'm going to show you a really fast, quickie trick about finding 1-4-5 in any key. In this case, we're at the 5th fret with the first finger. We're on the 6th string. I'm going to call that the tonic or the root or the key that we're playing in this case A. I simply move over to the next string. That's the 4 chord. I go 2 frets higher. That's the 5 chord. They'd be D and E. So regardless of what key you're playing in, on the fretboard, I'm just going to punch the 8th fret here. I'm on the 6th string. I just move over to the 5th string. There's my 4. Move 2 frets higher, and there's my 5 chords, C, F, and G. The 1st, 4th, and 5th tones of the scale are called the primary chords of the key. And in country, sometimes we call them 3 chords in the truth. And you hear them in a lot of different types of songs. And almost all harmony can be broken down to these basic chords. Let's get on to being able to create the A7 bar chord in its strum. When you strum the A7th, or any of the chords, you're going to relax the grip of your left hand. Listen to the chord for a second. It didn't ring very long. And you can see by the picture of me holding the guitar that I pressed down, I strummed the chord, and my left hand relaxed. It did not come off of the strings. I'm still on the same strings. I have the same posture. I simply relaxed the grip to produce that shortened sound. And it should chug. Listen to the 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's starting to sound bluesy to you already. With the D9 chord or the E9 chord, you do the same thing. It's just that you'll be at either those frets. With the D chord, you don't really want to hit that open 6th string. So you would strum it, you'd relax, strum, relax. You hear that chunky sound out of it. And here it is for the E9, 2 frets higher. I'm going to explain the chord progression on the chart, and then we're going to let it play once so that you can hear it. Above each measure, this time, you see the notes written in here on the staff, the tablature underneath them. There are 2 more staves, this one, this, and this guy, or 3 more actually, and that's the bass and the drums. We're not worried about that right now, and the bass is in red, so you can distinguish between it and the guitar. It shows no measure number at the beginning. We just commonly understand that that's the first measure. Then we see the second measure number of 2, and it shows the D9 chord for 4 beats. Third measure is A7. Fourth measure, A7 again. Fifth measure, D9. Sixth measure, D9 again. Seventh measure, A7th. Eighth measure, A7. Finally, on the 9th measure, we'll achieve the E9 chord. And then the last 3 measures, the 10th measure will go to D9 here. And then the 11th measure to the A there. And the 12th or last measure is the E9 chord. Then we see the double bar lines. These guys are repeat signs, and it tells you go back and do it again. So there are 12 measures, and each measure is divided by a bar line. That's that guy right there. That's why it's called a 12-bar blues. So if somebody says they want to do a 16-bar or an 18 or 24-bar, they're technically saying the number of measures. I'm going to play this thing at a crisper tempo at about 120 beats. There'll be no start off. I just want you to hear this thing, and I'm going to narrate a little bit while it plays. It starts out with the A, 4 beats. D9, back to the A. Another 4 beats of A. To the D9. Another 4 beats of D9, back to the A. The A again, now the E9, D9, A7, E9, it will start over back at the top. A, D, A, D, D, A, E9, D9, A, E, and there was 2 repeats, and it would start over. Okay, I'd like you to practice the chords, a single strum apiece, try to get the exchanges of the chords, and then go back and try to strum with the pattern at 20 beats. It will be very, very slow.